our new Ottawa West campus. Give your horn a honk.
Yeah!
Okay, let's go. We've only ever joined us online in our online campus. Woo! Nice. And in our North Dundas and our Winchester campus.
Yes! Winchester! So happy everyone can make it.
Awesome. And our Campbell campus.
Okay, there's a few from Campbell too.
Awesome. Well, like Pastor Matt said, we're so glad that you guys are here and joining us. Hopefully you can see us on Facebook if you can. If you can't, you're here in person. We have washrooms available up by the shaded tree. Here we go.
And if we are looking forward to a very interactive service, so you're going to want your seatbelt off. You're going to want to be able to maybe look under your seats for some stuff. If there's kids in the vehicle, there were kid-built packs being handed out. If you didn't get one of those, I don't know if you can get Hog will bring it to you. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Ready to go?
There are a few things in your Kindle pack. So, let's see.
Oh, right. There should be 3 cups and 10 coins. If the coins are chocolate and you already ate them, I don't know if you can participate.
I think you'll see those again because I don't think they were chocolate.
Okay. So there's a bit of a riddle puzzle that you have to do. 3 cups, 10 coins. Each cup needs an odd number of coins in it, and you must use all the cups and all the coins. See if you can figure it out.
And I think there's some snacks in there for your kids, and hopefully you got a song sheet as well coming in. And we're going to do some songs. The lyrics are all on those song sheets. If you didn't get one, stick your arm out maybe, and we can get you a song sheet if you need one. And hopefully we'll give you an update on the trivia. If you were doing our pre-service trivia. We'll check in and see who the winner was. If you were doing our online pre-service trivia, it is Tyler Thompson. There you go, Tyler. We will have a prize for you. You just need to, we will be in touch with you, Tyler. Okay?
Lost Pastor Ben, guys. I don't know where he is.
There was
There he is. He's coming out of his car. Welcome.
There he is. Everyone honk for Pastor Ben.
So there was part of this outdoor service was to decorate your car. Now, if you have a silky decal, that is good, but you need to be a little bit better. Kind of like this one in the front row over here. It's very decorated, this white Nissan Pathfinder. But I think the winner is the Sunderlands. Give us a honk if you think us. There we go. We have a prize pack coming for you guys. You're either at church or Mardi Gras. We're not quite sure. And we just wanted to give a couple thank yous to Tackaberry for allowing us to be here. The OPP, Officer James, is out there. And Star Toilet Rentals gave us the washrooms. And Bob Wiegand gave us this stage. So give a big honk and thank you for all those.
All right, let's kick off this very first Southgate Drive-In Church service with a word of prayer and thanksgiving. Dear Jesus, we thank you so much for who you are. We've been through a hard season of separation, God, but we're so excited to be together, even at a distance this morning. We just pray that we could lift you high, that we could celebrate together, and we could just pay attention to what you have for us here today. We pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. And all God's people honk their horns.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to worshiping with you this morning. Let's sing this out together. So come, let us worship our King. Come, let us worship Him. Come, let us bow at His feet. He has done great things. See what I see. See how His love overcomes. He has done great things. He has done great things. Oh, hero of heaven, just great. You free every captive and break every chain. Oh, God, you have done great things. We dance in your freedom, awake and alive. Oh, Jesus, our Savior, your name lifted high. Oh, God, you have done great things. You've been faithful through every storm. You'll be faithful forevermore. You have done great things. You have. And I know you will do it again. For your promise is yes and amen. You will do great things. God, you do things. Oh, hero of heaven, you conquered the grave. You free every captive and break every chain. Oh, God, you have done great things. We dance in your freedom, awake and alive. Oh, Jesus, our Savior, your name lifted high. Oh, God, you have done great things. Sing it out together. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, God, above it all. Hallelujah, God, unshakable. Hallelujah, you have done great things. Hallelujah, God, above it all. Hallelujah, God, unshakable. Hallelujah, you have done great things. Oh, hero of heaven, you conquered the grave. You free every captive, break every chain. Oh, God, you have done great things. We dance in your freedom, awake and alive. Oh, Jesus, our Savior, your name lifted high. Oh, God, you have done great things. God, you do great things. God, you do great things. Lord of all the earth, we shout your name, filling up the skies with endless praise, Yahweh, Yahweh. We love to shout your name, oh Lord. Let's sing out together, Lord of all the earth. Oh Lord of all the earth, we shout your name, filling up the skies with endless praise, Yahweh, Yahweh. We love to shout your name, oh Lord. There is no one like our God. We will praise you, praise you. There's no one like our God. We will sing, we will sing. There is no one like our God. We will praise you. Jesus is our God. We will sing. Oh, the Lord of all the earth, we shout your name, filling up the skies with endless praise, Yahweh, Yahweh, oh, we love to shout your name, oh Lord, oh, the Lord of all the earth, we shout your name, filling up the skies with endless praise, Yahweh, Yahweh. We love to shout your name, oh Lord. So you give life. You give life. You are love. You bring light to the darkness. You give hope. You restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you, holy. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness. You give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise, and it's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise, and it's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you, holy. Sing this out together, all together. Though the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. Oh, the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. Sing all the earth. Oh, the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only.
God, we lift you up this morning. We're here, we're gathered all together to worship you together, God. We want to lift you high with praise, with our music, and with our hearts today, God. You are the only one worthy to be praised. We thank you so much that you are faithful, God. You never change, no matter what happens. We can count on you. We know that you've given us hope in the future in Jesus. And we thank you so much for everyone here, God. I pray that you would encourage every heart this morning, and that we would give you glory. We give you praise. Amen. Well, hey everyone, how's it going? It's so exciting to see all of you here. There are so many cars. This is awesome. This is a drive-in church. So we are focusing on what is in your car today. So sometimes you have to focus and you have to sort of take a closer look to see something a little differently. And in Kidville, for June and July, our theme has been focus, because we've been talking about faith, and you have to focus on the things that you can see about God and what He's like, and what He does for us, so that we can understand the things that we can't see. So that was our theme. So let's see what's in your car today. I have a little scavenger hunt.
You got to take off your seatbelts, right?
Yeah, you might have to look.
You might have to get on your hands and knees. You might have to look underneath your seats. We're gonna have a little scavenger hunt in your car.
Okay. First one, license and registration. Take it out. If you don't have it,
You better have that one. License and registration is important.
yeah, you
So
shouldn't
hopefully
be
you
here.
have that one. If we gotta find that. There's no PP officer here today, so make sure you got that. Okay, we have a few people who found it. License registration.
Let's see. Oh, okay, good. If not,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe in a similar spot. The next one is your cars. And I want you to keep track of how many of these things you have.
And a handbook. Some of the older ones they might not have. It might be lost. All right.
Yeah, you should know how to fix things in your car, or maybe how things work with that thing. Okay, the next one is a pen. Do you have a pen? Somewhere in your
Does a
car.
pencil count?
Writing a last-minute birthday card on the way to the party. Writing a check.
Do we accept a pencil?
Pencil. Ooh, erasable. Can't use that on a check. I don't know. I accept it.
Okay. Pen or pencil. All right.
What about an extra clothing? Nothing extra, like shirts, jackets, shoes, like gowns. Yeah. Your change in clothes for after you sweat here.
After the sweat fest, you have an extra shirt.
Okay, this is going to be a tough one. If you have kids in the back seat, you might want to get them to look, because see if you can find an old French fry.
An old French fry, maybe tucked underneath your seat.
the nooks and
Maybe
crannies
in
on
the
the
nooks
side.
and crannies. I heard the McDonald's ones that last a long time.
Yeah.
Might still be all right. You can cook it on your the hood of your car if you want.
Yeah, your toddler will just be fine. Okay, now this one.
No one wanted to admit that one.
Did anyone find a fry?
Wow, yes.
Okay. This one I picked because it may or may not still be in my car, but does anyone still have any winter hats or mitts?
Oh no.
I'm not the only one.
Clean out your cars. You shouldn't have mitts in there still. What is it today? +40.
Yeah, don't need it. Okay, the last one's for the kids. Did you bring a toy with you today? If there's any kids there, do you have a toy with you?
We got some toys.
Nice. Okay, did anybody get all of those? Everything? Oh. Okay. No prize for you. Well, you can talk to us at the back if you got all of the items.
Yeah, let us know if you got all the items when you leave. Let us know.
So now that you've taken a closer look at your car, what does that say about you, really? Like, Ben, how's your car? What would it be like?
Yeah, I enjoy cleaning my car. I really like having a clean car, and so during this, there's been several instances where I vacuumed out my car and cleaned it out. So I don't think I'd have a French fry in there, but it could be there, maybe in a real good hiding spot. This actually reminds me, as I look out, I feel like I'm in the Cars movie. Like there's no just cars. You can't really see the people.
And they are the cars that they're. Yeah.
But yeah, I've cleaned out my car a few times. What about you?
Yeah, good for you. Mine, like, there's definitely winter hats in this. We have been eating fewer fries, so it would be really, really old.
Okay.
But there would be the smeared plum sauce as well. Like upside down plum sauce, probably smeared across the face. Yeah, it doesn't smell great.
So you have the winter hats and stuff in there.
Yeah,
So,
been on that. So that's the thing, and you know, when we take a closer look, maybe you haven't had time to clean out your car. Maybe you have. Good job. I would be impressed if you have a perfect car like Ben, but you know, I also forgive you and understand if you have not made the time for that because we're not going anywhere in the car. So, but when it comes to faith, so taking a closer look with faith, when we look around and we see the beauty in the world and the love in our relationships and the things that God is trying to teach us to help us grow and learn about Him, when we focus on those things, even though we don't see the big picture of what He is doing, we can get a little bit of a glimpse of faith and we can trust God for the things that we can't see because of what we can see. So the verse that we've been memorizing is Hebrews 11:1. A lot of you probably know it. And kids, if you know it, which a lot of you do, say it with me. I just want to read Hebrews 11:1. It goes, faith is being sure of what we hope for, sure of what we. So it's awesome that we can trust in God, even though we don't always see the whole picture.
Yeah, I mean, to believe something's there but not see it, in fact, it kind of reminds me of a story that Jesus told once about something that was lost or something that she had lost. You see, Jesus, he was telling this story to some people, and at the time, the Pharisees were getting really, really upset with him because he was hanging around with people who the Pharisees didn't think were very important. All right, and so they didn't think he should be associating with people like that. They didn't think that he should be spending his time. In fact, they thought that he was wasting his time by spending time with people who were kind of what were seen lower in society than maybe the Pharisees were, and someone of God should never be associated with them. And I'm very happy, and I'm very just even during this pandemic to understand this story in a new way, in understanding that like Jesus loves the least, and he loves the people who maybe don't have all the money or the people who don't have all the power, that he loves the people who are struggling through times like this, and he's in pursuit of it. And so this story, you can find it in Luke chapter 15, 8 to 10. So Luke chapter 15, 8 to 10. And the story goes like this. You might have heard of it, maybe you haven't. It's the parable of the lost coin. And so let me read that for you. It says this. Or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Doesn't she light a lamp, sweep the whole house, and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbors together and says, "Rejoice with me. I have found my lost coin." In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing in the presence of angels of God over one sinner who repents. And the first thing I want you to notice about this story, the first thing I want you to understand is that the coin never seeks the woman. The woman is seeking for the coin, right? The woman is trying to find this coin that she lost. And so here is the next step in the scavenger hunt.
Yes, we're going to seek a coin ourselves. So see if you can find a coin in your car. Not going to find you have to look for it. Even if it's a penny, still has some value. Some coins there. And actually in your Kindle bag, if you don't have a coin, you can toss a coin over your shoulder and your kids can find it, and that'll keep them busy. So just check it back there. And they can look for the coin.
Yeah.
And while I just mentioned that, in their Kindle bag, there's this really cool scratch card. If you don't know what that laminated page with the vases on is, behind one of those vases is a lost coin. You can actually scratch off the vases to find which one has the coin. So another search for coin.
Yeah, so she has, in the story, she has 10 coins. And some, I don't know if you've ever had, like, dropped a penny or you found a penny on the ground and you didn't even want to, like, bend over to pick it up. It's actually money, but you just walk over it, or you drop a penny, you didn't want to get it. It doesn't matter really to us sometimes with a quantity that small. But she decides she's going to look for this coin, even though she has 9 left. She's going to just kind of leave those there, and she sees the value in the one coin, and she makes considerable efforts to try to find this coin. She does anything to find it, even though she still has 9, right? Still has 9 of them. Let me just say, there is one who earnestly searches for you. And I don't know what you felt like throughout this pandemic. I don't know what you felt like as here we are sitting in our cars. The majority of us can't even leave our cars in this. You might have been sitting at home for many, many days, many times, and maybe you didn't feel like anyone checked up on you, or maybe you didn't feel important. And I think this story is a reminder for us that there is one who earnestly pursues, there is one who earnestly seeks after, who will do anything possible to come for us and to love on us. And there's someone who searches for you, and I think it's a relentless pursuit. Relentless pursuit to get you. And even when you're not him, just like these coins, they weren't in search of the woman was in search of the coin. He never stops. He always pursues. He's always behind you. He's always with you. And even if you don't feel like you have worth, he will not stop until he finds what he's looking for. And so the next thing that the lady does is she lights a lamp. All right?
Well, let's try and find a light in your car, like a keychain or flashlight, any kind of light. You probably won't see it the light of the sun, but you can show it to us.
Found a light, like a little LED
Light.
phone light. So I think going through this pandemic, you might feel, I think it's been difficult even in our situation as pastors of the church, not being able to connect with people necessarily, not being able to see people face to face. We've had people who have passed away during this time, and we've had people who have been, really low and really down. And maybe you've been in that situation. Maybe you feel like you're in the dark, or maybe you got to a really, really dark place, and maybe you even felt lost in the midst of that. And it's kind of like a spiral thing where you kind of go down, and it's hard to get back out of that if you're kind of stuck and locked up. And I love how Jesus is described as the light of the world. And darkness never penetrates light. Light always penetrates darkness, right? That's always what we say. And just like the sun comes up on a new day, I wake up early in the morning and I love watching the sunrise, and it's kind of a new beginning. It's a fresh start. It's a new day, and it gives me hope for the day ahead. And I think Jesus might be telling you, even if you gathered here today, that those dark days, they're behind you. And we ordered this flag, and it might be silly to you, but it's over up here on your right, on my left, and it's a Southgate flag. And I just want to say, like, this is a time where we gather here as a church after maybe a difficult season, but this is a time where we raise the flag of the church, we raise the flag of Jesus, and we say, you know, we're gonna keep pressing on here. We're gonna keep pressing through, and the game's not over. The story's not done, and we're gonna rally, and we're gonna be better than we have leading into this. And that's kind of what we're excited about. And so, it's just she lights a light, and you have to light a light in order to see where you're going. And there's often times where at nighttime, you know, I stub my toe if I'm going to the bathroom. I'm getting older. Go to the bathroom in the middle of the day. Stub my toe as I'm walking there, and you need that light to see where you're going. And we see the next thing that she does is she sweeps. All right, she sweeps.
So the next item to find is something to clean with. So maybe you have Lysol wipes, maybe you have Purell, Kleenex, or a small broom to clean your dashboard or something. Something to clean with.
Something to clean with.
I have that.
You know what? I actually have a brush in my car that I detail the knobs on my radio with. Is that weird?
Yeah, I'm impressed though.
There's someone who's with me, but
I'll bring an old toothbrush.
All right, so I got some. This isn't Purell. This is some other brand. But what I notice about these sanitizers is that I don't think I've ever seen one that says 100%. They all say this one says 99.9. So there's never fully 100% effective. I don't know what you need to do to make this 100% effective.
That's a pretty high number.
Yeah, 99.9 is pretty good. But it just kind of reminds me is that I think a lot of us, for the things maybe that have happened in the past, things that have happened even over this pandemic, maybe things that have come out of our mouth, things that we've said, you might feel dirty, you might feel like you need to clean, you might feel like you need something renewed inside of you, you might feel like you have something that you're not proud of, that you want to kind of leave in your past. And this Purell, it's 99.9% effective, but there's something that I know that's 100% effective, and that's Jesus. And I think he's 100% effective in cleaning that part of us that we're not proud of, the part of us that we want to put behind us, the part of us that we don't want to admit that maybe we did or that we're currently doing, and the Purell won't clean, all right? Sorry to say, but Jesus is the only one who can do that. And so he wants to clean from your past. He wants to set you free. He wants to light up that lamp. He wants to put the darkness behind him. And so finally, she finds what she's looking for. In the story, she finds the coin. And what does she do? She calls up her friend and she lets them know. She calls up her friends, she lets them know, she celebrates because one person is found. So what do we got here?
Okay, so we want to celebrate today. We're all here to celebrate, and so here's a couple things you can do. Take a picture of yourself where you are in your car, and you can post that on your social media with the hashtag Sophie Drive-In. Maybe text a friend, text a family member, tell them that they're important to you, that you miss them, that you want to look for them and get together with them, something like that, to just show everyone around you that you were excited. And you guys have been doing a great job with the horns, so we're going to lay on the horns. And kids, there's a kazoo in your bag. No, you have to actually go into it, so it's not super loud. So you guys do find something to make noise. And let's just celebrate for a few seconds. Let's hear all those horns. Okay, that's good. Awesome.
Because here's the reality that you might not know, is that there's several stories during this pandemic of people who are here this morning who have never been to church before. And they started kind of jumping into the relationship with Jesus, finding out about him through that time. And you just cheered for maybe that one person who took their next step by coming here today to worship with us in this kind of new family that they have. And that is worth celebrating. That's an exciting thing. And so that's our invite to you. It's a celebratory thing. We are welcoming a new campus as part of our family as well. We're welcoming new people. We have a whole bunch of people who want to get baptized, but we still don't really know how to do that yet. So we're trying to figure that out. But that is an exciting thing. And so let people know that, right? You can write that you were here today. You can post that. We have the hashtag for you if you wanted to do that. It's okay, drive-in. And if you've ever had the experience of leading someone to Jesus and letting them know about that new hope that they can find, you're on cloud nine. And I've been in that kind of spot several times, and I just want to tell everybody I'm so excited about it, and that I had the opportunity to do that, and I was a part of that person's story. And so this is a joyous celebration. This is an exciting thing that we've gathered here today, and we should be celebrating just like we do when someone comes up out of the baptism waters on a Sunday morning. We all kind of like shout and clap our hands and stand up and that kind of thing. That's kind of what this day is. And so wherever you are in your spiritual journey, wherever you find yourself, maybe this is your first experience with church. And let me tell you, this is my first experience doing church like this. All right? And so we have an affinity that way, right? This is a brand new thing that we've never done. And whatever you've been through in your past, I want to assure you that you're not forgotten. And that you are being prayed for. And that just because we can't shake your hand on a Sunday morning, can't give you a hug. You know, I'm not a huge hugger, but every Sunday morning there's a few people who just give me a hug no matter what. And as I was waving to you at the front, that was a moving thing for me. It's a moving thing to see our church family here we haven't been able to gather with in a long time. And if I'm honest, I'm tired of preaching to cameras. I'd rather talk face to face with you guys. And that's a joy of ours to be here today and to do that. And so we wanted to keep this kind of short. We wanted to keep it fresh, and we know that you have kids. And so I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to kind of give you some instructions on how we're going to head out of here, all right, today. And because we don't want this to be like a sense game, right? Great for worse than least game. And so we're going to give you some instructions. Would you pray with me? And if you're able to stick your hand out of your car window, would you do that? And let's just share here some affinity in our family in the middle of this pit. And I'm so glad that you took time here today to join us and to celebrate with us. Let's pray, family. God, we just thank you for this day. I thank you for each and every one who's gathered here. They're so vitally important. And God, I know that there's several people who are watching online that weren't able to come here today, God. And they are so important to you and your kingdom, Father. And you keep pursuing, you keep searching, even when we're in our darkest places. And Father, I thank you for a new day, for fresh starts, that you clean us, that you restore us, God. And ultimately, Father, it's been such a witness to just kind of see this live and act. We pray every single Sunday that we would represent you in the seen and the unseen of our everyday lives, God. And I've just seen and heard story after story, witnessing for you and living out their faith. And so, Father, I'm just praying a rich blessing over our family. At our locations, Father, control that you are certain, and anything else, maybe everything else is uncertain. We trust you, and we love you so much. We pray these things, and all God's people said. Amen.